Infernal blessings. We are back with another video. Before we get started, a couple quick announcements. If you're interested in a spiritual reading or a spiritual consultation, I offer various different readings: telepathic demonic readings, Santa Muerte readings, Egyptian oracle readings, shadow work readings, which is, again, always a great reading to do if you especially want to see what's going on currently with you right now. It points you in a direction you should be going in, especially if you're looking for guidance in what kind of ritual work you should be doing. And as I've said before, I always teach people ritual work should be designed first and foremost for your needs first before your wants. And shadow work is a continual process, right? Maybe you're interested in a deity reading to see what gods, goddesses, and demons walk with you, or maybe you're just interested in a spiritual consultation. Maybe you just have a bunch of questions about the occult or the left-hand path, and maybe you want to focus on certain areas of the path, or maybe you got something specific going on in your life and you want to focus on that. Some people just use it. They have a list of questions and they just want to pick my brain for an hour, where you can use the consultation for any of the aforementioned. All right, if you're interested in anything that I just mentioned, shoot me an email at khnum19@gmail.com. Please include in the email your full weekly availability, not just one day at 3 o'clock, your full weekly availability and the time zone you live in. We'll find a day and time that works for both of us. Also, 8th annual Journey of the Black Adept Conference is approaching fast. We already have people this is the earliest I've had people sign up. I usually wait a little bit later, usually till the end of this month, but we're going to open the sign up now. If you want to sign up and register now, you can register for the conference. Shoot me an email. I'll send you the information. You can attend it live and in person, or you can attend it virtually. The only difference is virtually, you just don't have access to the rituals. I just don't record the rituals at the conference. It's just too much going on, a lot of work to do. Those are kind of kept, sacred in the sense you kind of need to be there to experience them. But you get access to everything else, all the classes, workshops, etc. You get access to the full day event plus the question and answer session on Sunday, which I think I'm going to make that available. The only thing available to purchase is going to be the 4-hour question and answer session, which is a good prelude to kind of what we did, and the level of questioning we get in that. So I will make that available for people to purchase just the last day question and answer session. But anyway, shoot me an email, I'll send you the info. If you need information on lodging, where to stay, it's in a very convenient area in downtown Hollywood, minutes from the beaches, minutes from the airport, and there's hotels, Airbnbs all over the place. So shoot me an email, I'll send you that info. Also, don't forget to check out the Primordial Chaos Patreon page to sign up for classes. It's patreon.com/Baniti, Baniti, tier 3. That's the tier you want to join. That's going to give you access to the 3 private classes I do every month on Patreon, including the group ritual. Also, keep in mind it gives you access to everything in the archives. You don't just get access from the day you join moving forward. You get access to everything in the archives, which is 6+ years worth of material, classes, workshop, resources, books, the whole 9. Trust me, nobody's offering what I'm offering it for the price that I'm offering it. If you want to see all the ongoing classes, with a new class starting this Saturday, the Esoterical Quran Islamic Studies class, which will begin this Saturday, July 6th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, go to the Patreon page, patreon.com/Baniti, Baniti, and go to the collection section. You will see all of the ongoing classes with new classes being added consistently and regularly. All right. Also, don't forget to check out the Primordial Chaos social media pages. Primordial Chaos 9, one word, on Instagram. Primordial Chaos, 2 words, on Facebook. And primordialchaos.com 3 on TikTok. Subscribe to those platforms. That's the best place to stay abreast on what I'm doing here as far as classes, events, etc. for Primordial Chaos. Support those platforms, please. All right. Also, don't forget to check out the Primordial Chaos podcast, available on Spotify and all major podcast platforms. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Radio Public, all major podcast platforms. The direct link to the podcast, my social media pages, the Patreon page to sign up for classes, my contact email, all of those links are in the description box of this video you're watching right now. It's going to be a brief video People have always asked me, it's not that I don't talk about it a lot, it just doesn't come up a lot, and I don't talk in specific, even though a lot of aspects of what I talk about is the Draconian spiritual tradition or path in nature. So I want to talk a little bit about what is the Draconian spiritual path and tradition. Well, if you asked me, what would I say my path to spirituality is, and I try to stay away from labels and titles, I would say, if I had to describe myself, would be a Draconian magician, a Draconian practitioner, because it's very Luciferian in nature, and in essence what we do is very Luciferian because it has Luciferian elements from top to bottom. Now, a lot of people will trace the history and origin of the Draconian tradition to Kenneth Grant, which a lot of his works and his books is attributed to this path, and rightfully so. But I think the torchbearer and the continuing light bearer of that path and tradition in this day and time, obviously, is the Temple of Ascendant Flame, which is overseen by, in my opinion, a great woman who, what she contributes to the left-hand path occult community is priceless, and she gives a lot of it for free. Asenath Mason, right? I myself have been a member of the temple, a high priest in the temple since 2019. I found it's a great place because it's in my opinion, one of the only organizations that I know of that it doesn't restrict you. You can still do what it is you do. You don't have to be a full initiated member if that's what you decide not to do. You can still be affiliated in some shape, form, or fashion, because being a full initiated member, I'm going to be honest with you, that is not for everybody. It is it's a commitment. It's a serious spiritual transition. And I'm just going to be honest with you, that's just not something to take lightly. It's a lot of work. But me, I've enjoyed and continue to enjoy being in the Temple of the Ascending Flame and being a Draconian high priest has brought me nothing but immense growth and spiritual change on a level I couldn't even put into words in one video. But again, this video is about focusing on what is that path. It is a very intense, it does work, in my opinion, with all aspects of the occult. If you're looking for a path that works with the Clip-Hop, that works with Luciferian spirituality, that works with Egyptian Heka, that works with the Necronomicon, that works with Tiamat, and pretty much any path you can conceive that is labeled occult and left-hand path, working with Satanism, right? But Satanism on more of an esoterical occult perspective, not so much from the traditional perspective. It's really centered around working with the infernal gods and goddesses of the void and the abyss. So it is a very personal, it is a very intense path. To me, it's the highest forms of shadow work one can do. When I say shadow work, I take it a step further when you're trying to master the real self and you're trying to strip away all of the illusionary aspects of yourself so the real you can emerge, so you can obtain what you're destined to be. If you're looking to pull out the greatness that resides in all of us, and we all have the ability, nobody's obsolete of it, this is a path that will definitely help you do that. Now look, it's challenging. The ritual work, the work in general, is very challenging. It's nothing to be taken lightly. It's going to really test your mental fortitude. It's really going to test your intellect. It's going to challenge you in ways you probably never thought. It's going to bring out things in you that you probably never knew were there, good and bad, right? And it's all part of who you are. When we talk about, for an example, an Egyptian Heka, something that we tried to obtain, especially with working with Set, and I found the Egyptian Heka work in the temple is phenomenal. It really brings out that state of Khepera. Not who we think we are, but who we really are, and who we're destined to truly be. The remanifestation of the true self really is one of the core foundations of what the Draconian path does. Now, there's a lot of stuff out there labeled Draconian. I just want to be clear with that. So, it all has elements of it. So it's not just the Temple of the Ascendant Flame or Kenneth Grant. There's some things that have come out over the years. You'll see different books, different authors But just like I've said, there's a lot of, with everything else that's out there, whether it's Luciferian spirituality, etc., you decipher what applies and works for you, because I know in my journey and my studying, for an example, with this, not everything claiming to be what it is what it is, but you have to make that a decision for yourself. So there's a lot of stuff out there labeled Draconian spirituality, some good and legit, and in my opinion, some bullshit and just not really hitting on the notes of what this path is really about. I would definitely look at also Michael Kelly's works, Apophis, and some of his other works. He is in alignment with a lot of what we do on Draconian spirituality, but that's in essence what I do. If I had to describe it, that's what I would be at the very root core of my being. I work with the path of the Infernals, right? And I found it not to be what people think it is. It's not all dark doom and gloom, right? It's hard work, don't get me wrong. And it's tackling areas of your subconscious mind and your psyche you have to be ready for. People hear the word Draconian and their mind goes to Hollywood and bullshit they see on the internet. And really, when you're saying the word Draconian, you're tying back to those ancient beings of the serpent, right? That really don't have no time frame. They've been there from time immemorial, right? I know a lot of people want to trace some of these Infernals back because it's their lack of intelligence. They always try to trace it back to biblical history, ancient Hebrew mysticism, and I kind of laugh at that. For an example, Lilith is one of the infernal goddesses of the Draconian path, and people make the mistake of always correlating Lilith to the story of the Garden in Eden and this, that, and the third. And there is connections to that Hebrew mysticism. But just like many of the other Infernals who are etheric beings of energy, they're shapeshifters. They can take on any form at any period of time. This is why some will say she manifested as Ishtar, pre-biblical times, amongst the ancient Sumerians. I mean, the list can go on. We can correlate this multiple times with a lot of other infernal gods and goddesses of the Draconian path, right? So stop putting a time frame on them. They've been here since time immemorial. They are you, you are them. You are a byproduct of that manifestation, right? You were birthed into this existence or this realm, way prior to them what you think. Stop thinking your current manifestation, that you were birthed into this realm here on earth, in your current manifestation, in whatever birth year you lay claim to, right? And there's also strong vampiric elements of dealing with immortality on the Draconian path. Vampire magic also is a strong part of that. And it's why I love this path and I embrace this path as, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, it encompasses everything that the occult and the left-hand path is about. And I don't want to forget that. The vampiric tradition is strongly connected to it. And again, I give credit where credit's due. I have to say, what Asenath Mason and the temple does, and those that help, including myself, I tried to give back. Yes, of course, she has her own site where she sells her own products, her own books and services, and rightfully so. And that stuff, obviously, her and other spiritualists and occultists have a right to charge for, because it's their time. But look at all that she gives back freely and all that the temple does and all those who help with the temple. You're not getting that level of knowledge and information, in my opinion, anywhere else. And then obviously I know many people are familiar with the books that are for sale and available to the public, which a lot of the books are available on all book platforms, big sites like Amazon. I myself just recently contributed. We do every month, the Temple of the Ascended Flame does a open project where anybody can participate, whether they're in the temple or not. I did one last month, the 7 Days of Death Ritual with Nina Negra. So I try to give back when I can, right? That's how that works. But to me, it's if I had to describe it, it's the big boys and the big girls path, right? You always hear me use the terminology over the years. It's like the Thanksgiving, we all know at Thanksgiving we have the adults table and we have the little kids, the kiddie table. To me, it's for those who don't want to sit at the kiddie table no more. They want to come to the adults table, That's what the Draconian path is about. Now, again, I will tell you, there's many people who have indulged in the path, have had great results and success, but I've seen many people step back because they get to a certain point and they realize this may not be for them. Because you're going to activate every aspect of yourself, quote unquote, good and bad. And you're going to be dealing with things that maybe you didn't think you would have to deal with, per se, if that's the best way to describe it. But if you're looking for a path that deals with high forms of shadow work, if you're looking for a path that deals with multiple systems, if you're looking for a path that deals with true occult, left-hand path, sex magic, for an example, which, that's a topic that is really not for everybody because they don't fully understand it. And as I said before, sex magic, there's a difference in doing sex magic as opposed to just sex for lust. People don't understand the difference between it. And sex magic, when done correctly, can be a tool that's very powerful and produce amazing results if done correctly and if understood correctly, right? So the best thing I can tell you to describe it, and I would research all aspects and information you can pull up on the Draconian tradition, going back to Kenneth Grant and whatever you can dig up, and then make that decision like anything else if it's for you. Now, I'll leave you with this last thing before I get to my destination, because then the next question comes. How do I know it's for me? How do I know if I should try this? You don't. As I've said to you guys before, you never will know 100% for sure if you're ready for anything. There's no answer for that. I can say this, if you constantly are questioning it, that's probably a sign you're not ready for it. How you know you're ready for something on this path is when you want to dive right in and you don't have any doubts, any hesitations. That's the best advice I can give anybody when that question comes up. Now, the best way to know that, I always suggest when trying out a new path, get acclimated with the energy first. Don't go hardcore. Don't go jumping in doing crazy shit. Start with sigil meditations. And all the infernal gods and goddesses of the Draconian path, they all have sigils. So do sigil meditations. Simple invocations to access the energy of that spirit or demon. And go into that sigil meditation and see what you tap into. That, I've always suggest that type of work for beginners, because then you'll get acclimated with the energy, how it feels, how you connect with it, the messages you're getting. And then that'll be a telltale sign if this is a path for you or if this is not a path for you. And that really applies not just to Draconian spirituality and what I'm talking about in this video you're watching right now. That could be Luciferian magic, the Necronomicon, vampire magic, any of those systems, right? That's the way you know, because again, I want to reiterate, there is no 100% foolproof measure of knowing if you're ready. At some point, you're going to have to take a calculated risk or a gamble, an experiment. But have the discipline to pull back as soon as you recognize it's not for you. That's how you grow on this path. Or maybe it is 100% for you. Sometimes you go into it unsure and you go, oh shit, man, this is better than I thought. Oh, this is exactly what I was looking for. This, that, and the third. You don't know that if you don't, to a degree, use the concept of what we call indulging on this path, right? How to indulge with discipline, not reckless abandonment, not with no type of structure, personal structure, that is. That's the only way you're really going to know. That's the best way I can tell you, right? So start with that type of work first out the gate, and I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. You'll find out if this or anything else, for that matter, is for you or not. It's that simple, right? So again, if you're looking for a path that works with the Clipothic path, the tunnels of Set, vampire magic, Luciferian spirituality, Egyptian Heka, I mean, the list goes on, sex magic, right? It embodies all elements of the occult, the left-hand path, then this might be the path for you. Again, if you have any questions, to the best of my ability and with the ability to have the time, shoot me an email, right? I can assist if you have any questions. And again, I just want to make it clear, obviously it's hard for me to get to every single email because I get a gang of emails. Trust me when I tell you. I will do my best to assist with any questions. I'll probably try to do a live and maybe talk about this. I will try to go live this weekend for sure. 4th of July weekend as I speak. Looking to go live more than likely Saturday or Sunday this weekend, but we'll see. We'll kind of see where we're at. But anyway, I hope this kind of helps. Hope this gives you a little clarity and insight to what Draconian spirituality and what the Draconian path is about. Oh, and let me say this before I leave. Obviously, Kundalini energy, Kundalini work, right? That is one of the main focuses of the Draconian path. I'm sorry to forget that. I got so wrapped up in everything else I was talking about. But yes, it definitely works hardcore with raising and tapping into Kundalini energy, right? I don't want to make sure, I want to make sure I don't forget that, all right? But anyway, I'm out of time. I'm sure I'll do a further discussion on this. And again, I'm looking to go live this 4th of July weekend, possibly Saturday, maybe tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Got some stuff planned on the block, though. We did a little 4th of July fun for the kids. But we'll see. But I'm definitely going to try to get it in either from the day of this recording, 4th of July, 2025, sometime through the weekend. But we'll see. All right. Other than that, that's going to conclude it for this video. Again, if you need to reach out to me for a reading or a consultation, if you need information on how to sign up for classes, all the information, a direct link to my email, the contact link for my email address, the contact link to the social media pages, the podcast, the direct link to the Primordial Chaos Patreon page to sign up for classes. All of that is in the description box of this video you're watching right now. Also, before I check out, I posted yesterday, July 3rd, 2025, on the Instagram page and the TikTok page and the Facebook page. I posted a prosperity ritual, prosperity, healing, justice, balance, and harmony ritual that deals with Nina Verde, the green aspect of the Holy Death. The full ritual is there for you to do with all the instructions. So if you're interested in that, go to either the Primordial Chaos Instagram page, or Facebook page, or TikTok page, and it's right there for you if you want access to that, all right? Other than that, I appreciate you guys. Infernal blessings, and we'll talk soon. I'm out of here.